Live from TV 12 Eyewitness News, this is Daybreak.
Good morning, I'm Andrea Kay.
And I'm William Jiles, in for Mike Anthony. Welcome to Eyewitness News Daybreak. It's Wednesday, March 17th, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Make sure you wear your green. I've got my green on.
I think
You've
I'm
got
pretty
a little
close. Yeah, I got a little green in the tie there.
We'll have to find out from Bill Van Dusen if he's wearing his green. We'll check in with him in just a minute, but now let's take a look at this morning's top stories. A school administrator allegedly takes aim at a student with a gun.
Foul air at a Treasure Coast High School after someone sprayed mace through the hallways.
And charges of discrimination at a Riviera Beach high school. We'll have more on these stories in just a moment. Right now, let's say good morning to Bill Van Dusen.
Well, good morning. Good morning.
Leslie Gale, TV 12 Eyewitness News.
Dozens of Vero Beach High School students are recovering this morning after becoming sick following a dangerous prank yesterday. The students became ill after someone sprayed mace in a hallway at their school. At least 20 people were taken to the hospital and more than 40 more were treated on the campus.
It was like hysteria. I mean, everybody running around. It was just mass confusion. I mean, a lot of people got hurt by this.
Did you have any idea what it was? Did it scare you? Or?
Yeah, I was scared. I really wasn't sure what it was, but it hurt.
The principal says whoever is responsible will probably be expelled from school, and police say he or she will face criminal charges.
Suncoast High.
Up next on Eyewitness News Daybreak.
Some important information about your kids and smoking you'll want to hear.
I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
It's 6:07 now. Welcome back to Eyewitness News Daybreak. A little bit of rain on the way into work this morning.
Is that rain going to keep us from looking for those four-leaf clovers today?
Only if you're in the rain area. No, yeah, a little bit of scattered shower activity this morning, but not too bad, as a matter of fact. We're going to stay with rather mild.
Some new reports reveal surprising findings on Lyme disease. First, tick bites don't spread the disease as easily as you might have thought. And second, it turns out ticks may be a bit prudish when it comes to their choice of victims. Dr. Dean Adele reports.
If you wanted to avoid Lyme, I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
It's 12 minutes after the hour. Coming up in the next 15 minutes of Eyewitness News Daybreak. Don't be alarmed if your insurance goes up. Blame it on the weekend storm.
And a hiking adventure in the Smoky Mountains comes to a cheerful ending.
Good morning. Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Andrea Kay.
And I'm William Jiles, in for Mike Anthony. Welcome to Eyewitness News Daybreak.
And maybe Bill Van Dusen will show us his green again one more time. He is wearing it. We'll check in with him about our St. Patty's Day forecast in just a minute.
Now let's take a look at this morning's top stories. Effects from this weekend's storm linger on with a rising death toll and lost hope for those missing.
If you escape the worst of the March monster, don't expect such luck with your insurance rates.
And all of almost 120 student hikers come from the snowy Smoky Mountains safe and sound. We'll check on those stories in just a moment. But first, a quick check on the weather and traffic. Good morning, Bill Van Dusen.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I thought.
We're going to have to take Jim McCardle's word that he's wearing green.
We'll have to take his word since we can't see him. He can get away with it.
Yeah, you ought to see these socks, man. Are they green? Well, I tell you, McCardle is Irish, and here's the traffic.
The last 8 hikers from a group of nearly 120 have been rescued from the Smoky Mountain National Park after being trapped by last weekend's blizzard. The kids from Michigan and their guides all had wilderness training, which really came in handy when the storm hit. It's now 6:19, still ahead on Eyewitness News Daybreak.
Bill Van Dusen will return to tell us more about the rainy weather.
Also, they're home at last. The Safety Patrol students were late, but they made it. It's 6:20 now. Well, they braved the weekend's winter storm in the nation's capital, and now they are safely back home in Palm Beach County. 1,200 Safety Patrol students and their chaperones got back from Washington, D.C. around 8 o'clock last night aboard an Amtrak train. The students were on a trip to see the sights in Washington when the blizzard hit. Parents were worried, but the kids had a blast.
Couldn't go out the first day after the blizzard, but after that it was fun.
We saw monuments and we went to lots of museums.
We almost saw Tom Cruise at the Lincoln Memorial. He was making a new movie there.
That was the first time you ever saw snow?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
Real cold.
Real cold. Now, these Florida youngsters not only got to see the real thing, they saw lots of it. Nearly 2 feet of snow fell while they were there, and I'm glad I didn't get to see lots
Oh,
of
I
it.
know. But they missed Tom Cruise. Oh, no.
Right. Oh, when I was young, they used to say, real cool, man. Yeah, that was real cool.
Too bad they had to return to gray skies here, though.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of wet, too, today,
Really?
next couple of hours. You saw my suspenders.
Yes,
well,
I did.
Paul, our director, wears suspenders, you know. I don't know how he does it.
It's 6:27 now. Good morning.
We're about to start another half hour of Eyewitness News Daybreak.
What's ahead on this St. Patrick's Day?
Help for Florida's wildlife hurt during last weekend's storm.
More crazy police chases out in California. We'll have pictures.
Some old Irish folklore surrounding St. Paddy's Day. May the luck of the Irish be with you. We'll be right back. Good morning. I'm Andrea Kay. Welcome back to Eyewitness News Daybreak at 6:30.
Good morning. I'm William Jiles. It's Wednesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And hope you'll be able to see the sunshine on this holiday.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
We'll check in with Bill Van Dusen in just a minute.
But first, let's take a look at this morning's top stories. A man and a baby girl killed after 2 cars collide on a wet road. Rescuers say there was nothing they could do.
Charges of discrimination at Suncoast High School, and a meeting to talk about it turns chaotic.
And a new breed of victims from this weekend storm. More animals killed or injured in this storm than in Hurricane Andrew.
We'll have more of these stories in just a minute, but first let's say good morning to Bill Van Dusen.
Well, good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
So far we've been accident-free on the roadways.
That's good news.
I know. Let's hope it continues. Let's check in again with Jim McCardle. Hi, Jim.
Well, hi there. Yeah, so far so good. Latest on Street Smart.
Thanks, Jim. We'll talk to Jim McCardle again later in this half hour. A car crash on a darkened, rain-slick road killed a man and a baby girl last night. The accident happened on a dangerous stretch of Highway 441. The victims were just south of Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach when their car suddenly went off the highway and slammed head-on into another vehicle. An off-duty paramedic was on the scene just moments after the crash, but said there was little he could do.
They were back there cutting them out of the car because it's so bad. They're so badly entangled. The county medics got here and they got the baby out of the car and they started to work on her, but it didn't look very, outlook didn't look very good.
State troopers say the child was not in a safety restraint seat. 3 other people in the other car were taken to area hospitals.
Administrators at some better ways to voice your protest.
This past weekend storm claimed 42 human lives in Florida, but many animals fell victim to the high winds and rain too. In fact, wildlife experts estimate this storm killed and injured more creatures than Hurricane Andrew. Eyewitness News reporter Claudia Shea shows us how one animal hospital is bulging at the seams.
This has already formed a scab. Just go ahead and leave this on.
It is 6:35. Bill Van Dusen's up next to tell us if we're in for some more stormy weather today.
Could the Miami Heat start a new winning streak on the road? Highlights from last night's games in Seattle when Daybreak returns. Stay with us.
Harold Miner. That's the impressive Harold Miner. We are
65 degrees. William?
Thanks, Bill. Well, in sports news this morning, the Miami Heat were in Seattle last night looking for their second win in a row on the road. But the Supersonics had other ideas. The Heat were led by Ronnie Cycli, who scored 20 points as the Heat tied the game at 73. But the Sonics were just too strong as Sean Kemp capped off a 14-2 run with a vicious slam. The Heat fall 98-85. Turning to tennis now, much rain but no upsets yesterday for the seeded players at the Lipton Tennis Championships in Key Biscayne. Dan Oliver has that story and more in our morning sports wrap.
Women's top seed, Steffi Graf taking on Pat.
It's 6:45. Coming up in the next 15 minutes of Eyewitness News Daybreak, a shootout on California's version of 4th Avenue.
And President Clinton takes part in some good old Irish songs.
What's an Irish heart?
Eyewitness News Daybreak continues.
Good morning, I'm Andrea Kay.
And I'm William Jiles. Welcome to Eyewitness News Daybreak.
We've already had a lot of calls this morning regarding the story Claudia Shea did about the Treasure Coast Wildlife Hospital and all the animals that were hurt during the weekend storm. If you'd like to help out, they're located in Hobe Sound, so you just call Directory Assistance and you get the phone number, or you can look it up in the phone book. And of course, it operates solely on private donations, so if you'd like to help out,
very good deed. Very good.
Appreciate it.
Now let's take a look at this morning's top stories. Defense Secretary Les Aspin in the hospital for a bronchial infection. Now doctors say he also needs a pacemaker.
President Bill Clinton letting his Irish eyes do the smiling, this time at the American Ireland Fund Dinner.
And another dramatic chase in California. We'll show you pictures of the chase as it happened. More on these stories in just a moment, but first a quick check of this morning's weather. Good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning. Yesterday we were...
Well, President Clinton has received an honor that may have others green with envy on this St. Patrick's Day. Last night, the American Ireland Fund presented Clinton with its Distinguished Leadership Award at an annual dinner. Clinton was the key speaker. He also participated in some Irish folk singing.
Irish hearts, but when Irish hearts are smiling, sure they steal your heart. Oh, one more time.
Now, Irish Prime Minister Arnold Reynolds also attended the event. He says he's looking forward to meeting with Clinton today to discuss a new formula for peace in Ireland. Clinton, by the way, is part Irish.
You can hear the angels sing.
There was another bomb.
Police sure were busy in Southern California yesterday.
3 separate incidents. The first, a shootout. Were shaken, but not hurt.
Then there were 2 chases. In the first, police chased a man in a flatbed truck for 60 miles. The driver allegedly abducted his 2 kids from their grandparents' home. The chase ended when the truck's engine conked out. Cops stormed the cab, hauled out the driver, hit him, cuffed him, and carried the children out.
The second chase involved a stolen van.
It's 6:51. Up next on Eyewitness News Daybreak.
This hour's final check on weather and traffic.
And a look at what makes St. Patrick's Day so festive. We'll be right back.
Here, here, offer the toast.
Where's Shamrock?
Oh, that's right. Now they're really visible.
Yes.
All that luck for you.
Yeah, I hope so. This is a great day for
Exactly.
weather people to try to figure out what's going to happen. Actually, it's pretty well put in this. There's a low of 66. William?
Thanks, Bill. Be careful with those suspenders, okay? Right now, let's get another update on our traffic with Jim McCardle. Good morning, Jim.
Hi there, William. Well, this morning, pretty good ride we do ride, and that's the latest on Street Smart.
And that's going to do it for Daybreak this hour. Thanks for watching.
CBS This Morning is coming up. We'll be back during the next 2 hours with more news, weather, and traffic.
And have a nice St. Patrick's Day.
That's right.
Have a good morning.
When you see news happening, dial 1-800-273-WPEC. On your cellular one phone, dial #12.